Okay. Look at me. I'm like, am I recording? Yes. Okay. Thank you guys so much for hopping onto our Newbie to Ruby training tonight. It's Caitlin and I were talking. We're like, this team is exploding. It's awesome. And we are so excited to welcome all of the new people and to see all of the new faces. So tonight we wanted to just hop right in and go over the basics of getting to Ruby and what this business has to offer. We're going to go over the steps to success and the Ruby chart. We're going to talk about why that's so important. So the steps to success, that's hard to say. Does anyone else get tongue-tied? Steps to success. Every time can't say it, but steps to success, those are really your instructions. That's the instructions that It Works Global has laid out. It's what each and every one of us has followed from day one, whether you're executive, just started yesterday, or you're an ambassador diamond. So that never changes. And your Ruby chart is essentially your roadmap. So that's what tells you exactly where you need to place and where you need to go to get to your goals and your promotions. So I am going to have Caitlin introduce herself and tell us a little bit about herself and the company and how she got started. And then I'll tell you guys a little about me. And then we'll hop right in.
Okay, so for those of you I don't know, I'm Caitlin Proctor. I've been with this business for almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years in the fall. I got started, I was a graphic designer and a hairstylist, and I was broke and never saw my kids. Jackie actually brought this opportunity to me. And at the time when she presented it, I just knew she had wraps, and I knew that I had extra skin on my belly as well as extra belly on my belly, and that wrap sounded amazing. She told me about the business, and I was very nervous, but at the same time, I was in a very desperate situation. And she was a nurse. I knew, I had met her once before. I knew very little, but I knew that she was a very intelligent woman, and that when she told me that she had been working her business for 4 months and was making $2,000 a month, I was like, what? I was like, I need to know what you're doing. So I jumped in, and this business has been the biggest blessing, not only financially, but giving me time with my kids. It's helped our health. And honestly, it has developed me as a person like crazy. I'm not even the same person I was a couple years ago. So I do believe this business is for absolutely anyone and everyone. It's incredible what it can do for you if you're willing to dive into it and treat it like a business.
Oh, sorry. Look at me. I gotta get my stuff together here, people. So Caitlin, yes, she dove right in, and I had been with the business since June of 2012. My best friend, Sarah O'Connell, signed me up, she started doing it, and I was like, okay, what are you doing? Because we were both nurses together. And, I was very curious, but I didn't essentially jump on right away. And I watched her, and, I'm picking up extra shifts at the hospital, and she's like, what is wrong with you? Why don't you give this a try? So I signed up as a distributor, and I tell this part of my story because I like to tell this part because this tells how flexible our company is. So I signed up as a distributor, and it just wasn't my time. I didn't work the business. I ordered when I wanted, like a loyal customer. I got the wholesale discount, but I loved it because it didn't cost me a dime. And Sarah knew when I was ready, I was going to jump right in. And the cool part is I knew I could when I was ready. And so that was June of 2012. And next May of 2013, I decided it was time to stop picking up extra shifts. No more 12-hour, 5 days in a row for me. And I just went in feet first. So I went Ruby that month, or in June, excuse me, and then just kept running. And I went Diamond the month I signed Caitlin. I think she was one of my last distributors I signed to box in for Diamond. And then it was just a whirlwind after that. Diamond in September. And then I went double diamond right after conference in January, and I went triple diamond in April. And then I went presidential diamond in August of 2015. So this company has been such a blessing for Tim and myself. I moved from Phoenix to Ann Arbor, and I was able to retire from nursing in September. And I love nursing, but after almost 10 years in the hospital, I was I'd met the love of my life, and I was like, I want to have kids and be able to be home with my kids. And so I had a plan, a 5-year plan in my mind, and it allowed me to move without having to look for a job and be stressed out. Cause I mean, a move across the country is stressful enough. So, and it's blessed him and I, we've earned over $95,000 in bonuses. So in about 2.5 years time, cause from when I started to when I earned all those bonuses. So, it's just been an incredible opportunity, and it's been in a learning curve. Like Caitlin said, I've learned more about myself. The personal development has been incredible. The money has been incredible. The friendships have been incredible. So there's really, I just can't say enough good things about it. So, and if I wouldn't have just given it a try for $99, like I tell people, I'm like, worst case scenario, you have a box of wraps for retail. Best case, you end up like me and you get to retire and you have found your best friend blitzing her at a salon. So it's a pretty cool opportunity. So that is a little bit about Caitlin and I. And so now we're just going to hop right in. And if you guys have questions at all, please feel free to unmute yourself at any time, and you can ask those questions, or you can use the chat button at the bottom, and we'll make sure we get to them. Okay. All right. So a lot of you guys, some of you have been in the business for a while. Some of you are fresh and new to the business. Regardless, all of these things I do believe still apply when you're running towards Ruby. So, all right. So you signed up. Now what? I think that's a really big question that we all ask ourselves after we signed up. We're like, okay, we signed up and we're a distributor, but what do we do? Like, what do we do? Because a lot of us, you guys, we didn't start in sales. We don't know. Like, I'm a nurse. There's teachers. There's Caitlin's a graphic designer. Like, we didn't start knowing how to do this. So the first thing that I want my new distributors to do is schedule a launch party. And I like to do that within 2 weeks. So, and there's a lot of reasons for that. I've found in the last 4 years, the people that have those launch parties that actually do get the wrap on people, and even if it's 1 or 2 people at their house, their businesses are exponentially different, and they start out much stronger, and they are out of the gates a lot faster. So if you can do them in person, I know it can be scary, but that's what your sponsor's for, to help you. And I know, like, my whole team, most of them are Pacific Coast, and so I'm East Coast now, and so I've been utilizing technology. It's a beautiful thing. So if I have to Zoom in for a party, just like what we're doing right now, or Skype in, or whatever, it might FaceTime, it doesn't matter. There's so many ways to communicate. I'm happy to do that. And I know most sponsors are happy to do that, so you don't have to be alone. So schedule that launch party. And then again, if you don't want to do one in person, if it's just not possible, we are going to get a virtual party going. And I'm going to have Caitlin talk about that in just a second. But I just want to say one more thing too is, when you signed up and you're sitting there and you get your number and you're like, I'm a distributor. This is my distributor ID. Now what do I do? You just ride that wave of excitement and start posting and be excited. Okay. You don't have to know everything. And don't wait for that kit to come in the mail, because everyone thinks, I don't know if they think that there's some magic in that kit, or there's something special that's like going to be delivered to their doorstep that they're going to automatically like learn all of a sudden. But there isn't anything special in that kit. There's some bomb wraps in that kit, but there's nothing special that's going to build your business. You're the one who's special, who's going to build that business. So your excitement, your passion from day one is what's going to drive you. Okay. So don't wait for that kit. You don't need it. And then Caitlin is going to talk a little bit about those virtual parties, because these are huge, and we live in 2016. So we got to take advantage of that technology.
Yes. So I'm in Arizona, and a huge part of my team is not in Arizona, you guys. So I build my business a lot on social media. So I haven't signed someone in Arizona in a year. So it doesn't matter where you live, or where your friends live, we can have a virtual party for you. So for one, like Jackie said, you can have your wrap party in person when you get your wraps in the mail. And whoever your sponsor is can either Skype in, we can do a Zoom like this, or FaceTime, but also you can do a virtual party, which means you can either invite people to get on a Zoom like this, and one of us will go through all of the product information. We'll share before and afters. We'll also share the business opportunity. You can also have a Facebook party where you can either create an event on Facebook, or you can create a group on Facebook and invite all of your friends, or add all of your friends to that group. And then we'll run it for like 4 days. And same thing, we'll post like 3 times a day, so they're not getting inundated with posts, but we'll post 3 times a day so people can actually, see the before and afters, hear somebody talk about the products, talk about our loyal customer program and how they can save, as well as they will get some information on the business. And this takes the pressure off of you because, when you first start, I know when I first started, I didn't even know we had other products besides wraps until I did my training. And I was like, what? I'm sure Jackie told me, but everything like flew over my head. And I was like, what is all this? But honestly, ignorance on fire is much better than knowledge on ice. So you just have to show your excitement to people, get people invited. Another thing you can do is you can ask people to say, hey, like, I'll give you a free wrap if you can get, however many friends together to a Facebook party. And once again, create a group, create an event, or we can do a Zoom and say, all you have to do is get your friends together and I'll take care of the rest. And then your sponsor will run it. So once again, the pressure's off of you. You can not only utilize, us to speak to your friends that you invite, but network as far as using your friends, think of your best friend and think of all of their friends on Facebook. Think of all of their friends on Instagram, all of their, friends that aren't even on social media. We all have so many different circles. And the beauty of network marketing is that we're not working within our circle. We're helping other people, giving them incentives to invite their circle to us. So make sure you take advantage and get something scheduled virtually. So even if you're doing a wrap party, we also want to do a virtual one as well.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Like Caitlin and I, we haven't done the events page yet, so this is kind of new for us, but I think it's going to be so awesome utilizing Facebook Live, because what a cool tool that Facebook has come up with. So we don't have to go on Periscope anymore. No other app. We can just use strictly Facebook. So speaking of tools, okay, you guys, launch party is scheduled. Now I know everyone who schedules a launch party all of a sudden has a freak out moment and they're like, I don't know anything. And I know I'm so like, I want to know, is that green in the color personality? Do you want to know everything and read through?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm one of the freaks who read through the entire comp plan as well as policies and procedures, and I've actually read it twice. But that being said, it's a good thing to read, not gonna lie. It's not the most entertaining, but so you don't worry, you don't have to know everything. You're never going to know everything, but what you do need to know is your resources. You need to know that you have resources and that you can always find your answer. So I'm going to do a screen share right now because I'm going to go through some of the resources that you guys have at your fingertips, and I want you guys to make sure you're passing these along to your new distributors. But first, before I go into that, and this is kind of an aside that I just thought of, It Works Global has an awesome mobile app. So if you guys don't have it downloaded to your phone, I highly recommend it. You can sign a customer right there on your phone in like under 2 minutes. It's so fast, and a distributor. So
and it's the one that says Frag Mob.
Yeah. So, and I also love it because like if I'm wondering what country we're open in, I'll go to the app and I'm like, what country? And it tells you, and you can see a whole list of countries that we're open in super quick. So I'm going to go to screen share here. And okay, so first thing I want to show you guys, everyone can see the screen? Good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first thing I want to show you guys, this is my lifeline, myitworksproductcoach.com. Now, this is going to give you, I swear, almost any answer you want about a product, whether it's, this is a big one, so let's look, caffeine. How much caffeine is in our products? You can type in keywords and find that. So this is going to tell you which products contain caffeine. So per treatment, defining gel. It's going to give you down to the milligrams, and it's going to bring up anything that has to do with caffeine. Or let's say you just want a particular topic, so frequently asked questions or things that that have come up a lot, they'll just put right on the actual product. So these are great to go through and read. Like if you're ever like, I learned so much from Product Coach. I just went through and I was like, okay, I'm going to pick a product today, Fat Fighter. You don't have to do this, but like I said, I'm a green, so I wanted to know. And so this helped me and gave me those frequently asked questions that I was going to encounter. And I also loved knowing I had this at my fingertips. So the other thing is if you don't find your answer, we can email our product coach. So you can email the product coach. They'll get back to you usually within 24 to 48 hours with an answer. And so that's another resource that you guys have. So feel free.
And sorry, really quick. There's another thing that's great about this is that helped me when I first started is there's terminology we're not allowed to use. So like, even though lost over 11 and a half inches off my waist. I can't post, hey, try these wraps because I lost 11 and a half inches. We're not allowed to say inch loss, and that's just FDA regulation. So sometimes when you're like, how do I talk about a wrap or how do I talk about the product? And you want to make sure that you're adhering to all of the guidelines, a great place to go is to Product Coach and look at, or go to your website and look at the description. Anything that is said on here or on your website description is all terminology you're allowed to use.
Yes, that is so important, you guys. So important. And I'm going to touch on that again a little bit later. And that's a great idea. I didn't even think to use Product Coach. I always just use my website. But yeah, anything they say, any verbiage that's on Product Coach or your replicated site, that's okay for you guys to use. So, all right. So my It Works events, this is one that I use all the time because sometimes I can't make those calls, but I still want to listen to them. Okay. So corporate call, I actually want to tell every single one of you guys, set an alarm in your phone, because I swear Sunday night rolls around. How long have I been doing this? And I know the corporate calls on Sunday night. If I didn't have that alarm set, Tim's always like, it's time for the corporate call. He's like laying in bed and it's, 5 to 10. And I'm like, okay. So everyone in this household knows it's time for the corporate call at 10 p.m. my time. But I would forget, you guys, if I didn't set my alarm. So just set an alarm for that every week. But this events page is going to tell you everything you need to know about the cruise. It's going to tell you about, you can go through and explore this on your own, but it's going to tell you everything you need to know about the It Works week that just happened. If you were wondering about events for that, It Works You events. This is awesome for our training so that you guys can plan out where and when you need to be and where to tell your teams to be. And then One Team, One Missions. Now we all know One Team, One Missions are just a giant wrap party, and it's awesome for recruiting and bringing your potential distributors to and your team to, because any networking event you can get everyone at is a good thing. Okay. It just fills your cup and it's just amazing. So, back to the phone calls. So you can go on here. Like, let's say I wanted to listen to a call from, Pam's Show Me the Money call from the 4th. I can go on here, click here, and I can listen online to this event. So usually once the call has happened, it takes about at least 24 hours for it to pop up as a recording on here. So if you are unable, because I know life happens, to get on those phone calls, this is going to be awesome. This is also great, like I said. Huh?
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I highly recommend the Show Me the Money call. Jackie, when I first started, sent me a recording of a Show Me the Money call, and I was so inspired that I was hooked. And it's been my favorite call. I like the corporate calls too, don't get me wrong, and I listen to them every Sunday because that's how we know about promotions in our business and what's going on. They're super important. Show Me the Money. I was someone who started this business and I had zero belief in myself. Zero. The only belief I had in me was the belief that Jackie had in me, that I was like, you're really nice and I'm gonna trust you. But I didn't think I was capable of any of this. And I got on those Show Me the Money calls and I listened to literally a woman who got conned out of her house, selling her house. It was like the whole thing was a con, and she ended up homeless with no home, living in a hotel. And the only thing she had was a box of wraps. And she was an ambassador diamond telling her story. So she was making over $30,000 a month telling this story. And I sat there going, if this woman living out of a hotel who had to sell a box of wraps so she could buy one more night for her family to live there could make it to ambassador diamond, I have chills just talking about this. I can do it too. And so if you can't get on those Show Me the Money calls, listen to the recordings, because you're going to hear incredible stories and you're going to say, I relate to that person, or, oh my gosh, if they can do it, I can do it. So get on those.
Yeah, it's awesome. It just is a great, the Sunday corporate call is a great start to the week. It's just nice to reset your clock and just kind of hear what's going to be happening for that week and get excited. And then the Show Me the Money call, if you want to build your business and hear from others who have done the same, that is the one to listen to. The next really important website is your eSuite. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have already been in your eSuite and explored it, but I do want to just go through a couple things with you right now. So this is our office. This is our online office, and this is, sorry, I don't know what it's doing. This is where I do everything. Okay, this is where you can enroll a customer. This is where you can find all your documents. This is where you change your auto shipment. everything. This is where you see your commissions. So I do want to show you guys, I know when I first started, I thought, how do I enroll a customer? And I was like, you forget about those simple things that you maybe didn't know when you first started. So I tried to think back on what I really wondered about. So one way that you can enroll a customer is, of course, you can send them to your replicated website and they can enroll themselves, or you can put their order in for them by clicking orders up here. And you're able to go over here and click on enroll new customer. So this is going to give you your options of loyal customer, retail customer, or distributor. You'll pick your country here, and then you'll just go through and fill in the blanks, okay? That's how you're going to enroll a customer, super easy. The next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, orders is another huge one. I know I just showed you how to do an enrollment, but I want to show you guys how to do one-time orders. So let's say you want to do a one-time order because you're running out of wraps and you've already ran your auto shipment for the month. You're good with your ADBV. This is where you're going to do that. You're going to add it to your cart. You're going to check out under your orders. You can see your order history here. And if you have applicator rewards, you're going to be able to see those here. And we're going to go over what those are. But applicator rewards is It Works Global. It's their way of saying you did an awesome job enrolling loyal customers. If you enroll 2 loyal customers, they're going to give you a box of facials or a box of wraps for $25 versus the regular $59. So that's a great way for you guys to make wrap cash or facial cash. Facial cash? I've never said that before. Well, I don't know where that came from, but yeah, I guess you can. So the auto shipment one is huge. This is how we get paid. This is how we make sure we are commissions qualified. And that you can change and edit and view here, okay? Reports is one that I love. I like to go to Tree Viewer. You're able to see your entire downline, and you're able to check your loyal customers. So you can search your loyal customers here, whatever you want to do. You can check your volumes. Here, you can do whatever you want to do. So the reports one, you can kind of play around with. I'm not going to go into that too much, but settings is another one I want to tell you guys about, because I think personalizing your website is huge. Like when I tell my customers, I always tell them, make sure my picture is in the right corner. So because I want everyone to have their picture up there so their customers know they're in the right place. And you can do that by going to your settings, and then you'll go to your website. And this is where you can actually change your replicated website name if you want. You can change it if it's available. And you can also upload your picture. You can even put your story on here to add to your website. So you can really make that personal. Sorry, I need to move this thing down here. It Works You. That's going to be training for you guys. If you want to watch the training videos, you can click on those. Highly recommend them. I'm also going to tell you guys where to find more training videos. And then support is another one that I love to use, because this is how we communicate. Instead of waiting on hold, you can do support tickets. It's just like an email, but ticket's a fancy word for email. You create a new ticket, you tell them exactly what you need, and they get back to you. Usually it's that day, but within 24 hours. So eSuite is just one of my
Make sure you guys look in closed tickets. So let's say you submitted a support ticket and then you pull up tickets and you're like, there's no tickets anymore. It's because the ticket's been closed. Once the ticket's been closed, meaning it's been responded to, it's not going to show up under open tickets. You're going to look in your closed tickets. Those are all tickets that have been responded to.
Yes, that's such a good thing to say, because for a long time I was like, where are my tickets going? And they were being answered, but they were in the close. The other thing I want to alert you guys to is your document library. This is just the mecca for anything you could ever possibly need, want, or to read about for It Works Global, including your comp plan. But one that I use the most in here is going to be product info. Product info, this is, like I said, don't feel like you have to know everything, because everything you need is at your fingertips. So you want to know about stretch mark cream, you can learn about it really fast. Click download, and you're going to get this super nice, apparently not, because my computer's being dumb, but you'll get this great PDF that's going to show up with ingredient lists. So if you have someone who's wondering about what's in this product, I have an allergy, send them this sheet, okay? Ingredient list, it's going to give you frequently asked questions, and it's going to tell them exactly how to use the product. So that is a great resource for you guys. The next thing I want to show you guys is Facebook. Also, I know you know Facebook, but our team page is going to be a huge resource for you guys to be able to ask questions if you need an answer. Like, of course, your sponsor is always there too, but if I need a quick answer, I'm going on a team page, because that means I have, hundreds more people that can answer my question quickly for me, or that have had the same situation happen. But you guys know how to do that. You can figure that out. But files is where I think people forget to look. So we have all of these files that we have done. I mean, Q&A for scripts. We have a daily business task sheet that Tari did. We have, books to read that Caitlin put on there, frequently asked questions for potential distributors. This is a great one if you have people that love, like I just had a friend ask me to email stuff to her. So I was like, okay, because she wanted to know all about the business, and it's just kind of hard. So I tried to narrow it down with that. Of course, I prefer a phone call, but she's busy with a 2-year-old today, so we're going to talk tomorrow. But so this is just something you can look through, and you're going to have your level sheets, which you're also going to be able to find in your eSuite. But just make sure you go through and explore this, because you're going to be able to, intensive training document, that's another good one. This is going to be a really great resource for you guys, as well as Rewiring Rockstars, which is like our bigger team page. And then I want to show you guys this. This is my It Works website. So this is when I told you guys to fix in your eSuite under settings in your website, put your picture there. I know it's super small, but make sure your name's there. Make sure your phone number is correct, because you want to make sure you're directing your customers to the right place. So when I'm talking to customers too, and I'm going back and forth with them, I am always referring back to my replicated site, because that way I can go here fast. Like, I'm sorry, sometimes I forget, like especially essential oils, stuff that just came out, what the retail price is, what the loyal price is. You can come here and look very quickly. The other thing that I want to tell you guys is what Caitlin said about compliance and wording. This is a great place to look, as well as Product Coach, if you want to know what you can and can't say. So I'm going to show you guys one that I love. So like greens. I just love our new packaging. Look at it. It's so sassy, isn't it?
It is.
So greens, okay. No one buys it for retail. I always forget what it is. So I'm like, what is it again? So because everyone gets it for that price. But this is a great place. These little bullet points, I look at them all the time. And when I'm messaging somebody, I want to keep it short and sweet. I want to get to the point. These are allergen-free, soy-free, dairy-free, vegan, non-GMO, and 34 fruits and veggies, 52 herbs and nutrients, and you can alkalize, balance, and detoxify. Look for those buzzwords, because that's what you want to be sending to your customers. You don't want to be sending them this whole giant thing they have to read through. Buzzwords. Think of the words that you would want to look at, that would stand out to you when you are sending a message. So, okay, so that's just a little bit about that. And then also on here, your customers can always go on here and click View Product Info, and they're going to be taken to that same PDF that we have in our eSuite. So they can have access to this stuff at 24/7 as well. So that's awesome. The next thing I want to show you guys is YouTube. YouTube has been a huge savior for Caitlin and I as we were learning. Our leaders in this business are wonderful. They put in so much time and effort, and it's okay to be a copycat if you're copying the right cat. And there are some incredible people to be copying that are doing so well with this business. Jade Hooper is one of them. If you want to go through, she does videos on all topics. You can go through and just check that out. Caitlin and I both, Caitlin's got a great YouTube channel with all sorts of videos on Periscope training, Facebook algorithm training. I mean, everything to personal development. I mean, whatever you feel you need that day, you can find on Caitlin's page or my page as well, because we both will also upload our trainings to those pages. So make sure you guys subscribe to those. And then just go through Sherry Alcala, one of my favorite people. She's got a great page. Jocelyn Yates. She has an awesome page. So you can go through and just search.
She and Jade Hooper are both really good for building your business on Instagram. That's both of them is how I actually, because I started my business on Facebook, and when I transitioned to Instagram, I started watching Jade Hooper and then Jocelyn Yates, and both of those really helped me as far as learning how to get utilize cold market on Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff. Ashley Sinclair, she's one of the funniest, most, I think, awesome people in the business. She is amazing. She's got
follow her on Periscope.
Yeah, and then It Works Global, you guys. They have a YouTube page, they have a Snapchat, and a Facebook page. So make sure that you guys are following those as well. I am going to stop screen share. I'm going to turn this over to Caitlin. And she is going to let you guys know. So you guys, now you know all your resources, what you have at your fingertips, but now what do you do? What do we do now?
So you guys, what's most important in this business is figuring out your why, okay? Why you started. Because let me tell you, I think the biggest mistake people make when they get into network marketing is they It's something that nobody's ever really done, but at the same time, they think that if they don't have instant success, or if they're not suddenly, making tons of money, or if they have, a couple friends that tell them no, they're like, I'm not good at this, I failed. And, I always like to talk about, I was a hairstylist, and, and I was a graphic designer. And let me tell you, both of those things took training. So when I was a hairstylist, when I was in beauty school, I'm just going to leave it to your imagination of some of the atrocities that took place. I mean, I took 2 people's eyebrows off. So full on eyebrow gone when I was learning to wax eyebrows. Like, not a good thing, not a good thing. But the thing is I ended up doing hair for 15 years. And can you imagine if when I was in beauty school, I was like, I just took an eyebrow off, like, obviously this isn't meant for me. I quit. And it was a very lucrative career for me for a while. So, it's like that with everything, with being a chef. No matter what you do, it takes training, it takes time, it takes learning, it takes practice. Most importantly, it takes practice. And honestly, actually, most importantly, it takes failing. It takes doing, learning by doing it and failing and going, okay, that didn't work. Now what do I do? And while we're going through this process of learning how we're going to do our business and how we're going to get our customers and our distributors and coming authentically into our own, but what is going to be our driving force is going to be our why. Why are you doing this? For me, I wanted more time with my family, and I wanted to not stress about bills. So when I heard Jackie say $2,000 a month, I know a lot of people start this business for $300 to $500. For me, that 2,000 is what rang a bell. And I was like, I am not going to stop, until I get this 2,000. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And I would, no matter what I had to do, if it meant, like staying up even later, if it meant, going and wrapping someone on the weekend when I really wanted to just have a little bit extra time with my kids, I did it because I was like, this is for them. This is what's going to give me more time with them. This is what's going to bring me home to them. This is what is going to do it. And like my kids, my time with my family, and like honestly holding on to our house because our finances were so bad, like that was my driving force. And so figure out, what is your why? Why did you join this business? Like, what are your dreams? And don't limit it. Don't limit your dreams to what you think you're capable of. Throw that away. I want you to think of your dreams as far as, I have a checkbook right now. I'm going to write you whatever amount you want. All you have to do is tell me, what do you desire? What do you want for you? What do you want for your family? What do you want your life to look like? And I'm going to write you that check. I want you guys to think about your why that way. And I want you to write it down. I want you to write your goal on your mirror. I still have my goals on my mirror. I want you to have that with you all the time, because then when you have a day where you're like, I totally thought Janet was going to sign and now she's ignoring me, and you're like, I'm terrible. Dang it, Janet. You can look at your why and be like, this is why I'm doing this, because this is what this is going to do for me and my family. This is what it is going to bring me. And I'm not going to let silly Janet mess that up. So write down your whys.
Oh,
is it still me?
yeah, still you.
Oh gosh, sorry. Here we go. So this is why I have to have something in front of me. Jackie knows, she has to send it to me. Okay, so, and also let your enroller know about what your why is, and have an accountability partner. So whether it's your enroller or whether it's someone in the business, I like to work closely with people I sign. I like to check in with them every few days. If they're checking in with me constantly, I'm even happier, because I like to I like to help people every step of the way and say, okay, like try this, and check back in, and let's try this and check back in. So have an accountability partner. And like establish your level of commitment. So depending on what your goals are, establish your level of commitment. If you're wanting to make that $2,000 extra a month, how much time are you willing to put into it? Instead of, watching, TV at night, take that time to work your business. How committed are you to your dreams and to your goals? Because honestly, you really can make however much you want with this business. And you can make hobby money by just putting a little bit of effort in. Or if you take time and you're like, when I started, I was like, this is, this is what I'm going to put in every single day. And I'm going to be consistent with it every single day. And I was, and it didn't matter what day it was, Saturday or Sunday. I was like, this is what I'm going to put forth every single day. It's called the compound effect. It builds over time. Those little actions you do every single day, if you're consistent, they compound over time and they build massive results. So stay consistent with it. You can put a little bit in and make hobby money, or, you can treat this like a business and you can make, some big boom money. But it's all up to you. We have it to income producing activities, and basically, what are you doing? There's a saying we always say that there ain't no BV in TV, and BV is our bonus volume. And it's like, yes. And honestly, I do sometimes work my business in front of the television on social media, but it's like, if what you're doing in your spare time isn't, besides your family time is separate. So I'm not talking about that. But if what you're doing in your spare time isn't building your business, that's okay. But you just have to be real with what are the results that you want out of this. Because if you're not doing that, your results are maybe going to be hobby money, where if you can really buckle down, like, you can have that big business money.
Yes. So income producing activities. So I got to shorten it, IPAs for short. So what are those? So Caitlin is, I think, amazing at messaging. And, I think we've been stressing to everybody. Everyone wants scripts and everything like that. I think scripts are great, but I want Caitlin to talk about sample messages and just keeping it off, being authentic and keeping it simple.
So one of the things I do, because I'm very consistent with posting, one of the things I do is anyone who likes or comments on my post, I just send them a message and I just say, hey, thank you so much for the love on my post. Were you interested in the wraps? Or would you be interested in more information on what I do? Those are my simple messages. Now, let's say I'm going through my social media and I will look at someone and I'm like, hey, I love like this person's personality through pictures. Like, I love what she's saying. I love her attitude. I'll send her a quick message and just say, hey, Amy, you totally catch my eye. I really enjoy all of your posts on Instagram. I, have a business and I'm always looking for people with your personality. Would you be interested in more information on the opportunity? So I just keep it really short and simple. It doesn't have to be, don't make it long because people lose interest. I'm super ADHD. So when someone sends me 3 paragraphs, I don't even read it because I'm like, that's just overwhelming. So keep it short and sweet. Another thing you can do is just message someone. When I first started, I messaged every single person in my phone and just said, hey, have you heard of that crazy rap thing? And I didn't even know that was our company's slogan. I just thought it was crazy that a rap did that. I was like, my mind was blown. And when people would message me back and be like, what? I would send them a results picture and be like, yeah, this happens in 45 minutes. Like, can you believe this is even real? And then as soon as they would message back, I would be like, you have to try one. You're going to love it. You can get one for $25. I can wrap you for $25, or I can get you my wholesale pricing if you'd like, and get you a treatment for $59. I would just do that. Or I would message people, that I was friends with and just say, hey, I just started this really awesome opportunity. I'm telling you what I said. I'm not making this up now. Like, this is literally what I told people because I knew nothing. Hey, I just started this new business. I have no idea what I'm doing, but the products are insane and people are making crazy good money. Like, do you want to hear more about it? Or would you be interested in doing this with me? Like, I just said things like that because honestly, it was my excitement that people were grabbing onto. So don't be afraid to message people. I still, I have a number of people I want to message every single day. A lot of people, can I talk about the go for no? Sorry, I'm so bad at following stuff, Jackie.
No, go ahead. Go, yeah.
Okay, can I talk about the go for no's? Okay. So when you message people, I have this happen so many times someone will message like people, either those don't respond or you say no. And I, in their hearts, they're like, I just messaged people and all of them told me no. Because like no's are hard to hear. But the reality is they only message 3. So we like to say go for no, because the more no's you get, the closer you are to a yes. So if you were like, I'm going to message people and today until I get, we actually did a contest with this one time, and we're like, you have to message people today until you get 30 no's. And guess what? Nobody. There were people that messaged 400 people, and there were people that didn't respond, but nobody got 30 no's. So if you can just look at no's as a good thing, and every time you get a no, be like, hey, you know, I'm closer to a yes, then it will keep you going, because you're going to get no's. And trust me, so many of my customers and so many people on my team started out as no's. A no really just means like, not right now. This isn't a good time for me. I always say, think of it as like, if you came to my house and I was like, you know, can I get you something to drink? And you were like, no. And then I was like, why doesn't she want something to drink? I offered it to her. Like, you wouldn't think that. That's crazy. And that's how you have to look at your business. It's not personal. It's just not what they want right now. But they might want to drink later. They might want to wrap later. They might want a business later.
That's so true. I've had so many no's, and so many people that I've asked, like, so many times that I was like, okay, they're never going to get wraps. I was like, never. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, like in April, I'm not kidding you guys, 10 people that signed up as loyal customers, and they all came to me, and they were all people like I went to college with or high school with they had seen me posting, and I had messaged them. Like, I kind of had written them off, like, okay, I kind of give up a little bit, which I'm not telling you guys to do, but you know, so it does pay off. So on that note, I'm going to just, cause we're running a little long on time, I'm going to kind of just go through this, cause you guys know scheduling parties. So Caitlin touched on that already. Ask your friends, you know, your Facebook friends, anyone you can think of to do that virtual party or that event that she talked about in the beginning. Individual wrap appointments, like she talked about too. You know, even if you have one person that you go to them, that's okay. Go and make those individual wrap appointments. Like, Caitlin really literally built her business on wrap appointments in the beginning. And I think it's just, I prefer them. I think it's awesome to be able to go and talk one-on-one, because the second you put that wrap on that person and sit them down for that 45 minutes, you have 45 minutes to just, you know, talk to them and tell them about the products and the business. So,
and honestly, sorry, real quick, really great way, because I didn't have anyone that wanted to do a party. I didn't know any, like, I knew like 2 girls that I was like, they'll do it, and they didn't. So when I would message people and say, you know, hey, like, would you be interested? I have a few spots open for wholesale pricing. And if they were like, I don't know, I'd be like, you know what? How about I have a wrap right here. You can try it for $25 and see what you think. And so it gave them another option right then and there to try the product, not commit, and get the results. And that's how I ended up doing a lot of individual wrap appointments, was that way, or carrying them in my purse. I still carry wraps in my purse, because as soon as people ask me what I do, even though I had 2 other jobs, I didn't say, oh, I'm a hairstylist, I'm a graphic designer. I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, have you heard of that crazy wrap thing? And if they were like, what? I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'd pull them out of my purse. Only $25, and seriously, you can tighten, tone, and firm anywhere on your body. Like, you want to try one, it's only $25 and you're going to love it. And boom, like, I still sell wraps that way.
she still does. She is the queen of selling wraps, like at Starbucks out of her purse, and she's amazing. And then, so expanding your network and social media, like, again, this is a little bit of a more advanced topic, because, you know, you can do that on Instagram, Facebook, Periscope, all of that. Caitlin has done, and both of us actually have done trainings on that throughout the past year. You can find on our YouTube channel. But I guess basic thing I want to get across is, you guys, it's a social media for a reason. Make sure you're commenting, liking, and doing all of that. And I want Caitlin to kind of talk about, you know, she's an Instagram guru, so she is going to tell you guys how she's kind of, you know, you should be building your warm network on Facebook, because that tends to be, you know, your friends and family that you already have, at the same time as you're building your cold on Instagram. So I'm going to let Caitlin talk about Instagram just real quick, and you can find her trainings on Instagram on her YouTube.
Yeah, and I'm going to do another training, because Instagram has kind of changed a little bit since I did my last one. But basically, what's most important is just, know the difference between warm market and cold market. Think about it as dating. Like your warm market, they already know you. They get a feel for you. They're going to commit to you more. Your cold market, those are your blind dates. They're like, I'm not quite sure about you. I need some time to feel you out. I'm going to watch you from afar. So that's kind of warm market, cold market. My whole business on Instagram is all cold market. It always has been. I started my business out with my warm market on Facebook, and that was amazing. And I encourage everyone to do that because you're missing out if you don't take advantage of your warm market. But while you do that, you need to build up your cold market, meaning you need to not only expand your network on Facebook, but on Instagram, be constantly following new people. Follow. Go to someone that you think that you have common interests with. You can search. I'll actually post a video about this. That's really good. But you can search like boutiques in your area. You can search things that you're interested in. Find someone who, you're like, hey, that's my ideal customer, or that's my ideal distributor, and then follow their friends. But start really building that market up, because once your warm market runs out, you're not going to panic like I did and go, oh my gosh, now what do I do? You will already have your Instagram built up with a lot of followers and a lot of contacts that you can keep up with. So, and we'll do another training on Instagram, and I'll post a video for you guys to follow on how to build your following.
And also, don't be afraid to take advantage of your hot market. Everyone's so scared of that. That's your sisters, your mom, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins. Like, seriously, you guys, if you're looking for your first 4 loyals, or you have people, I'm like, call up all your sisters and your cousins, okay? Like, take advantage that you have your hot market, your warm market, your cold market. So you have all sorts of options. But posting, so I'm going to share a statistic with you guys. Posting is so important for consistency, and I know I've had people say, I post all the time, I'm consistent, I feel like I'm not getting anywhere with it, or even with messaging. So 2% of sales are made on the first contact, 3% are made on the second contact, 5% are made on the third contact, 10% are made on the fourth contact, and 80% of all sales are made on the 5th to the 12th contact with people. So that just shows you guys why we say the fortunes in the follow-up, because people don't normally just jump and buy right away. It's very, very uncommon. So be patient and know that you're planting seeds and that you will reap a harvest later, and it's worth it. But you have to follow up to make sure that happens. So make sure you're being authentic. I think you make sure, your personal posts and your business posts should be very intertwined. Okay. Your timeline should not look like an infomercial. People should have a hard time differentiating between a personal post and a business post, because this should be about you and this business and how it's changing your life. It should not be an infomercial. Okay. So we want to share how we're using the products, how it's changing our lives, how this business is changing our lives. People want an infomercial. There's lots of TV channels they can go to. They don't need it on their news feed. So make it authentic and make it about you and your life and this company. So as far as compliance goes, there are some buzzwords that I do want to tell you guys we cannot use, absolutely not use when posting. And this is also, I think it's on the files tab, but detox or toxins, you cannot say that when it comes to the wraps. Inch loss, not even your own inch loss. We cannot say cure, treat, or shrink fat cells when it comes to our products. We cannot make reference to our products being therapeutic, curative, or beneficial to any disease or diagnosis that someone may have. Do not make medical claims of any kind. Now, testimonials from a loyal customer are one thing. If that's coming from them, a testimonial. You're not claiming to cure, treat, or diagnose anything. But just make sure you're very careful with your wording. So that's why I think it's so important that you guys know where to look for those buzzwords and those adjectives that you can use. So a good example is like the greens. So the greens detox, right? We can say detox for the greens. It says it right on the packaging, says it right in there. The wraps, not so much. Doesn't say it on there, but it does say tight and tone and firm. So we can say that. The other thing I want to tell you guys, there are so many people that come in so excited and Google greens and then find the greens mask or find all these other things and all these other ways to use our products. And don't do that. Like, make sure you tell them that only the specified use is what they're for. And the greens mask, I always tell people that we have an awesome skincare line. Don't try and reinvent what we already have. So make sure you're promoting our facials, probably not a homemade greens mask. And then, like I said, rule of thumb, if the package says it, description says it, product coach says it, or any other approved It Works document says it, you are welcome to say it. So just make sure that and it's one of those things where you guys hear it now, you'll never forget. You'll make sure if you see detox, inch loss, anything like that, you're going to know. So I'm not going to go too in depth with that, but if there's ever a question, ask your upline. Always better to be safe than sorry with that kind of thing. So I'm going to skip on to, so we talked about our why, we talked about the resources that we have. We know how to build our business with income producing activities using social media, as well as wrap appointments and all of those things. So now let's talk about how we get that $500 Ruby bonus and how we get to Ruby. So this is where the steps to success come in. This is where this is the instructions that's going to get you guys there. So step one, join the party. So everyone always says, well, when I'm doing my steps, like I've already done that. Well, Pam Souter, who I love her. She just blew my mind with this one day when we were doing a training. She goes, yeah, you guys have all done your first step, you've joined the party, but your first step every month once you've joined the party changes a little bit to you are now recommitting to your business. That's your step one every single month. And how you're doing that is you are choosing to run that ADBV auto ship to become commissions qualified. You are choosing to commit to your business. You are choosing to do that. So how that ADBV auto ship is something that I am just very passionate about, because I think that to run a business like we do, being a product of the product is so important. I think that you learn so much from using the products personally. And, ADBV is equal to about 2 to 3 products in cost. And actually, you guys, New You plus our probiotic is exactly ADBV now, exactly on the dot. So it's equal to about 2 products, and that's your only overhead in your business. Now, I've never done a traditional business model or, a standalone business, but I do know that it costs a lot more than approximately $100 or $90 to $100 to run a business each month when it comes to that. So this is your only overhead, is that ADBV or those 2 to 3 products every single month. And the other thing that I think is super cool is that you guys can sell your overhead. Like most places can't really sell their overhead. Like they're like, I have electricity, I have all this, I have all these, lease, all this stuff. Like you can sell your overhead. So you literally can have no overhead technically, if you think about it. So, so why do I think it's important to be a product of the product? 2, so there is a second way to be commissions qualified each month. If you're not going to run that ADBV auto shipment, you are going to have to bust your tail and get loyal customers to have 150 in personal volume. So I like that we have that option for people who are just starting out, who are maybe short on money and really can't do that first month, or life happens, you guys. I get that. And I like that It Works Global understands that life happens. So, but I also want you guys to know that everyone should be, whether you start with 150 BB, you should always be shooting to run that auto ship. So that should always be your goal. But why I don't like that 150 is because I am not willing to leave my commissions check up to chance. And that's essentially what you're doing. You're leaving it up to loyal customers. And while we love our loyal customers, I don't like to leave my paycheck up to my loyal customers. So because I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're going to return an order, because if they return an order and you drop below 150 before month end and you don't notice that, you're not commissions qualified anymore. You're not getting a check. So, and I've seen it happen.
It's not until the end of the month. It's actually up until the 15th when we get paid, when paychecks are cut. So if somebody returns something up until the 15th of the next month, and if it makes you drop below, then you won't be commission qualified. So you just have to make sure that you're very secure in what your orders are.
Okay, so sorry, I lost my train of thought here. So
I'm sorry.
Oh no. So no, not your fault. But just make sure, I like to make sure I know my check's coming. And like I said, how can you sell a product when you've never used it yourself, or you don't believe in it enough to invest in it yourself? So the next step is step 2, and Caitlin's going to talk to you guys about that for loyal customers and what does that mean.
Okay, so your 4 loyal customers, you guys, this is what we do every single month. It's no big deal. You just have to find 4 people who want to use products at 40% off. That's how you break it down. I mean, we all know people who want to lose weight. Everybody uses skincare. Everybody, takes vitamins and supplements. People who work out, people who use essential oils. These are not products that are, we're asking somebody to try walking on the moon. These are things that people already use. Wraps. Everybody knows someone who, wants to tighten their stomach, or who wants stretch mark cream because they have stretch marks. You're just finding those people who want to try these products at 40% off and finding 4 of them. For each 2 you get, you're going to get that box of wraps for only $25. But also having those 4 loyal customers is going to get you qualified for bonuses. And, I've made $35,000 in bonuses with this company, just in good bonuses. That's not actually including all my other bonuses. Jackie's made $95,000 in just good bonuses since she's been with the company. So you don't want to miss out on those bonuses. And especially all of you guys right now have the opportunity to get that $500 Ruby bonus in your first 60 days. So make sure you get your first 4 loyal customers within your 30 days so we can get those wraps and get you some cash in your pocket as well as get you that bonus.
Yeah, it's so important that you guys get 4 loyal customers within 30 days, and then you have to maintain 4 loyal customers now to be eligible for any bonuses after that fact too. So make sure that you always have 4 active loyal customers directly underneath you. Super important. Step 3. Now, this is the part where we talk about going Ruby, and going Ruby is all about building a team. And why did we pick Ruby for step 3? Because Ruby is really that pivotal rank that we all wanted to make an extra $500. That's really where the majority of people coming in, they're like, I just want to make that extra so I have a little bit more money at the end of the month. Or I want to make that so I can have some fun money for me, or I want a car payment out of it. So that's why we chose Ruby, because 500 actually is really life-changing money for most people. An extra 500 is quite a lot. So especially at month end, you're like, if I have an extra 5, I'm so happy if I have an extra 500. So it's great. So that's really that's why we chose that. And so what is a Ruby? So a Ruby is, I'm going to share my screen here really quick so I can show you guys. And I'm sure you guys have seen the Ruby chart, but a Ruby, like I said, all about building a team and teaching them these steps to success. So a Ruby is 5 distributors, but what you do, you start out, this is the beautiful part about the team aspect of it. You start out, so you want to find 3 friends who want to do this business with you, or your family members, or somebody that could use the extra money, or whoever it may be. Maybe somebody just wants to make enough money to pay for their products. So find 3 people who want to do this business with you. Then the beautiful part is you now have a team under you. So you need one of these 3 people to go executive. So they just need to find 2 people to do this business and teach them these steps to success that we just talked about. So I'm going to tell you guys why it's so important to do your steps to success. And of course, everyone has to have a qualifying group volume, which is 400. So
that's where your 4 customers come in.
Yep. So you want to make sure you're helping all these people get their customers and that they're boosting all these group volumes. Okay. So again, signing distributors is awesome and everyone focuses on that, and signing loyal customers, some people focus more on that, but it really needs to be equal balance, because you can sign distributors all day long, but if you don't have the volume under them, it doesn't matter. You need to have an equal balance. It really needs to be focusing on both. Okay. I am going to go back and just tell you guys really quick why this is important. So Jocelyn Yates recently just broke this down at Green Carpet, and it was one of those aha moments that, I still have them all the time in this business, even after 4 years. And this is why we preach the steps to success. This is why, I've never been a mass enroller, but I made it to Presidential Diamond. Like you don't have to enroll 30 people a month to do this. Okay. And this is why. So if you do your steps to success every single month, which is 4 loyal customers and 3 distributors. Okay. That's all. Every month, and teach your team those same steps and help them complete them every month. This is what will happen. So the first month, you'll have 3 distributors on your team. So those 3 top line people, okay? Then you teach those 3 distributors how to do exactly what you just did. And the second month, you now have 39 distributors. Third month, if you teach everybody that and they teach everybody that, and on down the line, you will have 120 distributors. Fourth month, you will have 363 distributors. Fifth month, you will have over 1,000 distributors on your team, which is way more than enough distributors to go ambassador. So when you guys really think about that, this business is about replication. It's not about who can be the biggest mass enroller. I mean, it's great to enroll a lot of people, but you also have to remember when you enroll those people, we have to train them and we have a responsibility to teach them. And so, keep it simple. Don't put this pressure on yourself that you have to do all this crazy stuff, because really our company has laid it out for us, the steps to success. And the more times you can do it in a month, the better. But I mean, that's essentially what we shoot for every month. And you can build an ambassador diamond business in 5 months if you do this and you religiously do this each month and teach your team to do this each month and they complete it. So, sorry, Caitlin, I went over a Ruby map. So
No, that's perfect. Perfect.
But you guys have questions. We kind of ran long on time here. I wanted to keep it under an hour, but does anybody have any questions they want to throw out there or ask or comments or anything like that before we stop the recording? No? Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on, and I'm so excited for all of your businesses, and I'm so excited for this week. I hope everybody takes advantage of these double points and these double wraps in your kit and seeing double all over the place. So this is just a remarkable. There's been not a lot of sleep had in Caitlin and in our houses the last 2 days. So, so we're really excited. And if there's ever been a time to push, it is right now. So I'm so excited for everybody. And please let us know if you think of any questions. And we love you guys. I'm going to stop the recording real quick and then